He's ultra, he's American, very American, and he plays tabletop role-playing games. TTRPG, he's the ultra-American TTRPG, yeah. So fucking ultra-American, yeah, he's American. Yeah, he's American. It's solo time, you drop the dime, so come on in. Let the show begin. We've got you covered. It's game day, brother. And sisters too. Have we got an ultra show for you? He's ultra, he's American, very American, and he plays tabletop role-playing games. TTRPG, he's the ultra-American TTRPG, yeah. So fucking ultra-American, yeah, he's American. Let's solo because YOLO, and you don't wanna be some bro ho, you know. Yeah, you fucking know. So let's go. On with the show. He's ultra, he's American, very American, and he plays tabletop role-playing games. TTRPG, he's the ultra-American TTRPG, yeah. So fucking ultra-American, yeah, he's American.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you all had a great week. Got some good gaming in. I am, as always, the ultra-American TTRPGer, a.k.a. the Jim Jones of Classic Gaming, a.k.a. everyone's favorite American Tiefling. And so tonight, one of the things I talk about a lot is kind of like how I've been leaning more towards certain settings. So one of them is science fantasy, which you all see me with my praise of Bears of Borderlands. But another one that I've kind of becoming really enjoying a lot more is the idea of urban fantasy, with games like Modern Necessities and Blacklight. And to discuss these urban fantasy settings and these great games of his, I have the author of these games here with me, Victor, aka the Scrying Dutchman. So how you doing today?
Hey everyone, yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, and we already got it. We got one Mr. Patty already in the chat.
Yeah, what's up, Paddy?
Yep.
And
We got a
Bumble
Humble Bundle D. Yep. She's a fairly new one to our circle, so it's good to see her here on the Rumble. I don't get a lot of people on the Rumble side, so this is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Valkyria, you're killing me here. So that's a player for
time.
Yeah, he's a player of a game I'm running, but he's a cool dude,
Yeah.
so we put up with him.
Yeah.
Right, so tell everyone who you are.
Well, I'm Victor Gorchev, aka the Scrying Dutchman, as you said, and yeah, my specialty, for the most part, is urban fantasy settings. I've always been a fan of that. I've been doing that stuff since like the early 2000s when I started with Shadowrun, D20 Modern, those kinds of games. And when I started writing RPG, I wanted to kind of emulate my my interests. So that's what I started writing. Like, plus, everyone already does fantasy. So I wanted to find my own niche, and yeah, I think I've successfully done that by now with stuff like Modern Necessities and Blacklight. So
because you mentioned Shadowrun, I need to ask the age-old question because I feel like I always get a different answer. So, which version of Shadowrun do you consider to be the best one?
Probably second. So I started with third technically, which I mean I love third, but I think second. I mean that's just something about that. It's an improved first edition, you know. So yeah, I would say second edition.
Interesting. Yeah, because that's the one thing. Because I always, when I first heard about Shadowrun, it's like I always heard about like cyberpunk beats the fantasy, and it
Yeah,
always appealed to me. But no one can ever agree on which version is like the best
yeah.
version of
They're all
Shadowrun.
decent
So
up until like five. Five, I think if you go with 1 to 5, you're good. Six is kind of eh.
yeah, but there's also the more rules light one that's out there called Shadowrun Anarchy. I've came across recently, which I've heard
Hmm.
mixed reviews about.
I
So
haven't seen that one, so I wouldn't know. But yeah,
yeah,
is it like is it official or is it like a fan thing?
I believe it is an official thing, but I
Okay,
don't know
okay.
if it's the same company or not that makes it. I'm not entirely
Mm,
for sure about that. So
okay, yeah,
yeah, I just remember seeing it on drive through like a while back, and it pops back up on my feed every now and then
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'll like sometimes I just like to scour the internet and drive through for just see what's ever out there. So because I
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
definitely.
all right, so all right, so one thing I always like to ask everyone when they come on. So what was your start with the TTRPG hobby? Like, what was your first game you played, and what kind of how that all led up to what you do now?
Well, like I said, I started with Shadowrun. That was literally the first tabletop game I ever played. So I used to play these online text games called MUDs, multi-user dungeons, and I would roleplay on them. So you know, text-based roleplay with people. And I got invited to one that was Shadowrun themed. So it had like a virtual version of Seattle, like all written out, and you could go to like each area, and it had like a little description and stuff like that. And you would just hang out and role play during the week. Like you know, I was like a teenager, so my character was like the mysterious guy in the corner with the trench coat. You know, just hanging out, being mysterious and cool. And then on the weekends, the people that ran the game, they would have like NPCs show up that would offer you jobs. So you would like meet in this area, and you could take a job. And then if you took that job, those same people would run an actual like game for you, also online through text, but they would use the actual Shadowrun rules with like a virtual dice roller, like a very primitive version at the time, because this was like 2003 or four, you know, like
Yeah,
VTTs weren't really a thing yet. So I think we just did it in like a chat program with some kind of like virtual dice bot. But yeah, that's how I got started. So they would just run like little like one shot Shadowrun missions for your character, and it would earn you money in the game that you could use to buy better gear and stuff. So you could actually in this mod in this text game, you could actually go to vendors and buy like armor and weapons and cool clothes and cybernetics and stuff like that. They had all that stuff all coded out. So doing those missions was the way to get money. And yeah, that's how I started, and it kind of just spiraled from there. That's how I met like you know tabletop people in general, and we started playing other games. So yeah.
all right, and so immediately you kind of got thrown first right into urban fantasy. Did you ever play medieval fantasy at all,
Oh
or
yeah.
was it just never your interest?
So my actual first physical game, like an in-person game, I visited some friends in North Carolina, and we played 3.5, just regular Dungeons and Dragons, which was really fun. I was there for like a month, and we did like a month-long campaign, 3.5 campaign. So that was my first physical game, just you know standard fantasy D&D. And I've done other stuff like that, but my real love is just like urban fantasy or cyberpunk and stuff like that.
Yeah, Patty's hearing you enjoying your talk about muds. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's like, and it's funny because like I wasn't that connected because I wasn't even allowed to have social media until like I got into high school. So I was like
mhm,
16, 17 when I was finally allowed social media. And then
yeah,
I always tell as I tell everyone I didn't start playing games until 2019, the year of our Lord and Savior, because that was when COVID
mhm,
happened, as I like to joke.
yeah,
But I started with more the Power by the Apocalypse, the story game systems,
mm,
being the
yeah,
filthy story gamer, as all my Grognar friends like to call me
yeah,
now. So,
yeah, yeah. Nothing,
but
nothing wrong with that. Got to start somewhere, right?
exactly, and
Yeah.
but it's like, but I eventually I wanted to just branch out because the game I started with it's called City of Mist, and the whole
Mm,
premise, and it's very much that it's urban fantasy in the sense that it's not really like elves, dwarves, and all that, but it's people in the city. They have powers based on myths, monsters, legends, etc., etc.
Yeah, yeah,
Basically. So
yeah,
like in this one campaign that they have out there's a motorcycle game that's King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table, and that's the makeup of the motorcycle game.
yeah. That's fun.
And so yeah, and then they also have like, and then I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember all the different, like some of the pre-gens they have. Like there's a Monster Hunter girl who's Little Red Riding Hood.
Mhm.
There's a race car. There's a street racer that's Baby New Year. So he's constantly
Yeah,
changing his ages as he's driving.
yeah,
And then one of my favorite ones was I'm trying to remember. There was one. Oh yeah, it's a news reporter. That's the Rift of Don Quixote, as they're called in the game.
yeah, yeah. That's
So
fun. It reminds me of that Telltale PC that adventure game, The Wolf
oh
Among
yeah,
Us. Have you ever played
yeah.
that?
Well,
Yeah,
very much
yeah,
kind of in that same vein.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
with like the fairy tales and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and I remember the very first time. Well, at first I wanted to play. No one was playing the games, so I started running the games, and I got the
Mm.
Forever DM title for after a while
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. I know the
The very,
feeling.
the very first time I actually ever played that game as a player, I created a. He was a high school boy that was the rift of Joseph from the Bible, so
Mm.
he had a varsity jacket that was a rainbow. So he had for his coat of many colors
Yeah, yeah.
because
Nice.
you could because your modern day items are like relics of your mythos.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like for example, like in one they have is a Thor's hammer Mjolnir is a construction worker's sledgehammer, for
yeah, yeah,
example, and a bunch of other
yeah.
stuff as well. So
Yeah,
and
that's
then I
interesting.
yeah, and so that still holds a place in my heart even after all this time because it was that
Mhm.
was my first game. I love it for what it was, and I still talk to the creator, even though we do not agree on many things. Because of
Yeah,
my love for because I love his stuff. That's the kind of reason why we still have that mutual respect for each other because we put that aside and we're here for the games. So
yeah,
that's one
yeah.
thing like about him. And so I started getting into trying to remember what I started moving into first. I think that was about the time when Blackwall had just
Yeah.
started working on Horde Wars, and he just released the basic version
Hmm.
not too long after I started kind of getting in here because I was finding some obscure ones here and there and looking into those, and then I got into trying to remember what else. And yeah, then Horde Wars was the one that I really started kind of going more into, like I said in my top 10 video, if I was to ever do like a medieval fantasy campaign, Horde Wars would be my go-to game to pick up for that, just
Yeah.
because of how well it's like. I've literally looked through because of his bestiary alone with how expansive it is in the advanced. I can literally run a Dungeons and Dragons module without any changes because I
Oh
could
yeah,
find
yeah,
that same monster in his book.
yeah, yeah. No, Horde Wars is great. I was one of the original playtesters, so I got in that pretty early, and yeah, Blackwall made a great game.
I'm in the monthly playtest campaign of his dropship book he's been working on, and I've been really
Mhm.
enjoying that. So
Yeah, yeah. He wanted to show that to me soon. He wanted to have like a chat because I guess he wants my input on like guns and stuff. So
the last time we played,
yeah,
this one guy had it was like a reaping energy battle axe, and he took out like 15 enemies in like
yeah,
one turn. It was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But
Yeah, when I played this at Horde Wars, my character was like an orc like guy, big orc Viking warrior guy.
oh
And
yeah,
we ended up fighting an actual orc army, and it was like a rival clan basically to my characters. And I ended up like beheading the leader, and I threw this head like we were like defending this gate in like a wall surrounding a city, and I ended up throwing the head into his army basically. And my character ended up with the nickname the Yawl Killer because you know the orcs are basically Vikings, so they have yawls. So my character was like whatever the Yawl Killer, which was pretty cool.
yeah. My first character I made for Horde Wars back when it was just basic, he was Omagug, the Blade Master Crusader,
Mhm.
and the one of the adventures I took him on when I was first playing him, this is when he was playtesting his Mega Dungeon stuff that he was working on.
Mhm.
Omagug ran right into a cave, came face first with the basilisk, got immediately turned to stone.
Yeah, yeah,
And he had the party was able to rescue him, but he had a deathly fear of basilisk ever since after
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It was
Oh no,
funny.
my character would have definitely died multiple times if it wasn't for the orc ability, where if you don't take damage for a minute or so, you heal back to full. Like
Hmm.
that was very useful because I would have died multiple times otherwise.
Yeah, yeah. The idea is you want to make sure you're not getting hit all the time
Yeah,
in order to be able
yeah,
for it to work.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
but all right. So, Because so what exactly? Because again, it's not just we're not just talking about the games you made. We're also kind of
Mm.
discussing the idea of the urban fantasy setting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, in your opinion, what is it that you like about urban fantasy?
I just like that mix. I like just that eclectic mix. I like modern for I like guns. I like fast cars. I like cool armor. I just like the whole vibe of like skyscrapers and misty streets and stuff like something like Gotham City.
Mm.
And then I also just like magic and I like weird creatures and all that stuff. So I like different types of urban fantasy. I like the bright stuff where everything is out in the open. So orcs and dwarves live alongside humans and everyone knows that it exists. But I also like the world of darkness type stuff where all that stuff is secret and only a few humans know about it. And maybe there's like vampire hunters and stuff running about that are trying to keep that stuff in check. So I don't know. I just like that. I just like that mix. I think it's fun. It's
Ooh, yeah,
interesting.
I like that you mentioned World of Darkness because I'm not on Facebook as much, but I'm part of a few groups that I still remain active with, and
Hmm.
I'm part of the Old School Essentials group on Facebook, and someone on there released a I don't know if they have it for a race option, but they have a vampire. They create a vampire class
Mm.
that you can
Yeah.
do for your character. So it's like so you could do like maybe like a dwarf vampire, or a halfling vampire kind of
Yeah.
deal would be the guess. But I'm like now that you brought up World of Darkness, I'm like, ooh, that would be a fun element to introduce.
Yeah. You could use modern necessities alongside that because it's OSZ, and you could make your own like OSR World of Darkness.
Hmm. Yeah, because that was I honestly I tried to get into World of Darkness. Of course, I did it through like one of the most difficult games. That was Wraith the Oblivion,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is which I say on paper, Wraith the Oblivion sounds like it would be a great game. You die, and by some extraneous circumstances, you come back to life, but
Yeah.
as like a ghost, and you're able to interact with the world. But you also have this dark counterpart that is trying to mess up your plans to make
Yeah.
sure you have a peaceful afterlife. And I think after two sessions, that whole game fell apart that I had joined
Yeah.
because people started doing stuff with the shadows, and it all went to shit, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. World of Darkness is interesting, but one thing I never really liked is that everything is kind of regimented. It's kind of like all separate. So like I like my urban fantasy like that. It's like you go to a bar and the bartender is like a vampire and there's like a werewolf sitting at the bar and there's like a siren singing on the stage and there's like a ghost like floating around serving you drinks and everything is kind of like mixed like that. World of Darkness, it kind of keeps it separate. So if you're a vampire, if you meet a werewolf, half the time or most of the time they're gonna try to kill you, like so it like they kind of keep everything a bit too separate for my tastes, if that makes sense. But otherwise, like it's a cool setting.
Yeah, I'm also just me personally. I'm not a huge fan of the political intrigue that goes
Yeah,
into like the games more now, and
yeah,
this is one of the reasons why I really put my back into backing Shadow City by Toby Funster
yeah,
was the whole idea of it's not just dealing with what's going on in the city, it's still you as the vampire trying to figure out how you're making it through the day. Who do you have to drink the blood from, or what do you have to do to make sure that you survive and that you're not going to get caught?
mhm,
Basically,
yeah,
the
exactly.
only the only World of Darkness game that I think I would be able to get into if I ever got around to it would be its first edition Hunter the Reckoning, because I
Yeah,
actually got my
same.
hands on PDFs of those. I was reading through it. I'm like, this is literally what it was supposed to do. Because
Yeah,
I listened to people play fifth edition Hunter the Reckoning, and there's like hardly any monster hunting. It's all
yeah,
about the character struggles. Whereas first edition, it's you are this person because of these reasons. You go at the monster, you kill the monster, figure out your stuff along the way, but you're still focused. But you're not taking your eye off the mission though.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I have the hot take that first edition of the Reckoning was the only World of Darkness game that was done correctly.
yeah. No, I love first edition Hunter the Reckoning because I love hunting monsters. So that's just fun. And I'm actually very slowly working on a Shadow Dark supplement, kind of using the some of the Blacklight rules, but it's gonna be based on Hunter. So all the classes is basically you get like more supernatural powers as you level up because of like whatever patron is behind you.
Yeah, and I actually used Chubby Fester Shadow City because he's got the rules in there for how to like map out your own city.
Yeah,
So for my Modern Necessity short kit solo game I'm doing, I created the City of Iron Vale. Hold on, I'm trying
nice.
to hold it up to the
Yeah.
phone so you can kind of see it. So I got like 8 different areas with all the bullet
Mhm.
points and stuff, and I got those typed up on my computer because it has a back that I can write stuff on, but I had all the dice on here so I could make sure I remembered what district was what at the
Yeah.
time I was writing
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah. His city building rules are really interesting.
yeah, and I may use his node one for some of the buildings if I ever get like that deep into like some of the stuff of the game. It just depends on, because again, this is I'm doing this as in a shorts format, so the most I can do these for is like 3 minutes, unless I
Yeah. Yeah.
start stop.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was kind of something that I thought was a cool idea because there was, I don't know if you had if you had seen me post about it or not, but I challenged myself. I did a whole week of solo shorts, just doing a
Mhm.
like a business card RPG where I was just created a random Skyrim game basically
Yeah.
and I was rolling it, and I had Imperial and Wood Elf that were guards in solitude. Someone got murdered. They got a suspect, questioned the suspect, figured out that it was like someone. They figured out there were people from the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild were like trying to leave to start their own thing. So
Yeah.
they confronted the two. Wood Elf character got axed right as my Imperial guy killed the other dude, and then my Imperial dude killed the final remaining enemy, and that's how that ended. Basically,
Yeah.
was
Are you? Are
then
you?
he
And
was
was all just randomly rolled, or?
yeah. So hold on, I can grab that little because I printed the. I'm still getting so used to printing out. So yeah, it's literally called it's tiny D16 is what it's called.
Oh
It
yeah. Yeah.
literally could fit
Yeah.
on a business card. So it's just you actually use a 16-sided die, which I actually do own because I have
Ah
another
yeah.
game that uses them. It's not
Yeah.
DCC, but a different one entirely. And then
Mm.
on the back of this is a travel oracle that only
Ah
uses
yeah.
D6s. So I was using this as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. I like a good oracle.
everything was done by dice and by the oracle, whatever it gave me. It's like
Yeah.
I don't do what all the grognards like to say about solo roleplay. It's like you can just change everything you want, make up your story. Because I say to me, well, you're not playing a game at that point. You're just trying to create a story.
Yeah.
It's through playing the game the story then forms.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
I
that's
agree.
why when people try to say TTRPGs aren't really like stories, I'm like, well, you kind of are creating a story through the game.
Yeah.
It's like you're right and you're wrong at the same time. So, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I mean, if I know that it's gonna be a railroad and it's like a pre-planned story, then I don't mind. But I want to know, you know,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
like Dragonlance is basically a railroad of a
yeah,
campaign, but it's like one of the most popular ones out there.
yeah,
Then I'm currently running. So I've only played and ran one 5th edition game each. The one I played in I was years ago, and my buddy Magic Man, he took the Cthulhu module Horror on the Orient Express and just used it for D&D. That was the
yeah.
first time I ever played. And what was funny was I played a Drow gunslinger, but I accidentally made Dex her dump stat.
Oh yeah,
And she had guns. So I was like,
yeah,
oh, kind of need that to shoot.
yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, no, I've played a lot of 5e, and I was like kind of the 5e forever DM for a while for my group. And my very first book that I released was a 5e modern book. That's kind
Oh,
of how I got into this whole thing.
oh yeah, the first edition kind of this one basically was
Yeah,
what it was, wasn't it?
it was what's the name? Now I can't remember my own game's name.
It was like Modern Guns and Accessories or something like that.
Oh, the Modern Adventurer's Guide to Guns and Gear, which I still love that name. I think that's a great name. Uh, but yeah, that was like my first book. I kind of wrote it on a whim. So I was one day I was browsing. It was like 2019 or so. I was browsing through the 5e Dungeon Master's Guide, and it has like a very brief, basic section on how to do modern stuff, and it gives
Mm-hmm.
like very, very basic rules on how to like do guns and grenades and all that stuff. And I was like, these kind of like suck. I want to write better ones. So I just wrote down some basic rules of my own design for like guns and stuff like that. And then people told me like, oh, these are actually like really interesting. You should write a book, Vic. I'm like, yeah, sure. So before I knew it, like 6 months later, I had like a 200-page supplement. And then I decided to kickstart it and everything, and that's how I just kind of got involved in this whole hobby. So it was just completely random. It wasn't really planned. It was just a complete whim. And now I'm supposedly a professional RPG designer. So hey,
So it's interesting because you started making stuff for 5e, and now you're kind of more doing this, kind of making more
yeah.
stuff for the OSR. So I'm curious why that shift.
Originally, it's because of the OGL stuff. So like literally a week after my Kickstarter was done, the OGL thing happened. So
Oh
that kind
wow.
of yeah, so that kind of puts the whole thing, like, it made it uncertain, the future of 5e. Like at the time, like, am I gonna have to abandon 5e? Can I even finish this book now? Like, all that stuff was completely uncertain at the time. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do the same thing for the OSR now. Like I had already met people in the OSR. I'd already befriended them. I was already getting more interested in old school D&D and stuff. So I just kind of pivoted to that, and yeah, no, I think it's fun. So
Yeah, that the OGL scandal thing was like a blessing and a curse, because while
yeah,
it put a lot of people like in question about like fifth edition, all that, the phoenix known as Shadow Dark rose from the
yeah,
ashes.
exactly, yeah, yeah,
And it's funny because like I had heard about it in passing at first, and I was like, "Oh, sounds cool." Forgot about it. Then I saw Diversity and Dragons do a video about it, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll check it out." Forgot about it.
yeah,
Came across the quick start PDFs that are on drive through, and I
hmm
was like, "Oh, those are cool." Download them, flip through them, forgot about them again.
yeah,
Then I was trying to remember. I think it was when she started pushing about Western Reaches, or maybe it
yeah,
was before that. And I was like, "Oh, I forgot I have this. Let me check it out." I started looking through it again, and I'm just like, "Why have I not been playing this game sooner?" This is literally almost everything I've ever wanted for like a TTRPG. It's rules light for me to enjoy, simple enough for me to learn and pick up.
yeah,
It's all the tables are great and come in excellent use. I use them all the time when I run Shadow Dark.
yeah,
So I mean, and making a character doesn't take you that long either. So
yeah.
that was
No, I
also how
agree.
I ended up going best start back. I literally everything Shadow Dark Chubby Fun Stars made I own now. So
Yeah, Chubby does great work, and he's a nice guy. So yeah, he was actually promoting Blacklight while he was talking about Shadow City, like on various streams. So I really appreciate that. He's just really nice guy. Uh, yeah, no, I did Blacklight because I did Modern Necessities, and people were like, "Oh, that's really cool, Vic. You should do something like that for Shadow Dog when that like came out and was popular." So I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I started like looking into Shadow Dog, and then I wanted to use the torch mechanic but make it modern. So that's why I
mhm.
came up with battery drain stuff, and that kind of informed the whole setting. Like it's like, oh, your batteries drain faster in supernatural areas. Like, well, why are these supernatural areas there? So I came up with kind of like this whole um, like Silent Hill type situation, or like Stranger Things type situation where like these dimensions are invading our dimension, and that basically spawned the whole blacklight setting.
You know what would be really fun if you were to run something like Blacklight at an in-person table
Hmm.
instead of using like an actual timer. Do you remember the old flashlights where you had to like shake it,
Oh yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
battery? You get
yeah,
one of those and make sure you shake it to where it's at full power at first. Then you turn it on at the table,
yeah.
and then when the power runs out, then your players have to shake it and try to get as much power into it as they can.
Oh yeah, I could see it. Oh, those ones where it has like the little crank.
Or the
Those
or the
ones. Yeah,
cranks, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I like the idea of just being able to watch it, laugh at them as they're like trying to shake, as they're
yeah,
trying to basically jerk off a
yeah,
flashlight.
yeah. That would be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, in the next few years, I do want to visit some conventions, including in the US. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm, I'm not sure if I'll immediately run games in person because I'm pretty shy about that stuff, and I'm not all that confident in my ability as a DM.
mhm.
But I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. I recently discovered last year that there was actually a local con near me. It's called the Venture Con. It's
Mm,
usually a board gaming convention, but they do run RPGs as well. So
yeah,
I went for the first time last year, and I ran Horde. I just took the Horde Basic version because I wanted to show it off, and actually got I both my tables because I ran a game on Saturday and then a game on Sunday because I couldn't because I could have gone Friday, but I had to work. So
yeah,
and so I both days full tables. And what was interesting was on my Saturday game, it was all like older guys. So they were all like, okay, we got our characters, the village is being attacked by goblins, and they just start slaying them all left and right.
Yeah.
Whereas my Sunday group, full table, but a lot of them were younger, and they were constantly asking questions. So, like, when there's that scene in the goblin attack, when the farmer's like, my wife and children have been taken by the goblins, they're like, well, why? Well, what did you do for the goblins to take your wife and children? And I'm like, guys, these are goblins. It's not that
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah, they don't really need a reason.
They really don't. Not in this
Yeah.
game. So, yeah, I actually had to explain to them in this game there is a defined line of good and evil, and goblins
Yeah.
fall on the evil side of that line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like the orcs are hit and miss depending on which tribe you come across.
Yeah, exactly.
And so,
Yeah, my orc was a bit of an asshole, but he was a good fighter, so they kept him around.
yeah, Omagug was bold yet naive at times, was how he kind of came off as.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, we were talking about you were talking about like the movie Bright earlier, and I like the thing, and I actually still have yet to see that one. Like, it's come across my screen, and I tell myself, oh, I'll watch it later, and then I just
Yeah.
keep forgetting, and now it's only on Netflix, and I'm like, no, I refuse to get a Netflix account.
Yeah.
So,
If you ever have a chance to watch it, I suggest it. It's actually a really fun movie, and I kind of
yeah,
wish I had done more with it.
yeah, I wish it had like a physical release so I could buy it
Yeah.
and have
Yeah.
it. So,
Yeah.
well, I saw Patty had a question in here earlier. Oh, he's asking about the a Blacklight NPC apparently you two thought of.
No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, the one that tasked the character with bringing back like memorabilia and stuff. He's asking if you remember talking about that.
No, I don't. I might have been drunk, to be honest. So I don't really remember. So
And then Michael, DLSD25 is Michael Dale. He says, I'm interested in sales variance between 5e and OSR releases from Vic's perspective. Is the OSR a better area for crowdfunding?
I definitely have been more successful in the OSR, but it's hard to tell if that was because I just became more well known or if it was because of the system. But because the 5e book was my first book, nobody really knew me, so that also impacted the crowdfunding. I like made my goal. I think the last day I was asking like 5,000 euros. I think I made like 5,500, and I literally made my goal the last day. And then Modern Necessities, which was my second crowdfund project, made like 12,000, something like that. So definitely did a lot better. But again, it's hard to tell if that was because I was more well known at the time or if it was because of the system.
Yeah. So there's a Kickstarter. It's not out there. It's not open yet, but it's one that's in development right now that I'm following on Discord. That I'm kind of picking up bone with it because when I first came across it, so it's called Idols of Neon City, and it's basically kind of a K-pop demon hunter for D&D. Is kind of what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's being made by a father whose daughters love the show so much that he wanted to do something for them as well, because he also plays with them. And originally, like on the head, like the image cover that you can put on your Kickstarter page, it says that it's supposed to be like 5e and OSR compatible.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, he said that they have now put so much time into just the 5e portion of the game alone, he doesn't even know if they're even going to do like an OSR compatible version.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, which I love the idea. Like, it's I don't really care that much about really K-pop demon hunters. I'm like, it just sounds like a cool kind of concept, and I'm like, oh, OSR. So yeah, I would probably try something like that. And I was just kind of like, I'll be honest. I straight up told the guy, well, I'll be honest, I was really interested in this because I saw there was going to be an OSR like version of this too, so I could play. I'm not that interested in 5e. And kind of like, and I'm just one of my things I worry about when I keep seeing stuff that gets like 5e made is that it's just going to end up being like more slop and shelf wasting, because that's what a lot of 5e books become down to now. Just because because 5e stuff is so easily available now, and usually will always get backed regardless, because that's all people know and play. Unfortunately,
yeah.
The good thing is it's going to be 5e 2014 rules, not 2024 rules. That's the only good thing about that.
I agree. No, I only played 2014. Yeah, like I don't know. I've like DLSD says there, the OSR is a hotter indie space, and like there also is a more personal touch because I don't know, like how to say this. My English is failing me right now. I'm Dutch, if you didn't know. um,
Oh, I know you're Dutch, mostly because I hear
yeah,
from the other
yeah,
people about how Dutch you
yeah,
are. So, but
yeah.
I'm not
No,
going there. So,
no, but it's like you just have like a more personal touch with your fan base than with 5e. 5e is a little bit more. I don't know. You're just like one creator out of many, and the 5e base is just a little bit more distant. Does that make sense? Like I don't know.
yeah, I think when with Shadow Dark having popped onto the scene, even though it was kind of like those 5e mechanics, it was that OSR feel
Yeah.
of the game that I think really kind of brought that connection back to like old school gamers and like new guys that wanted to even try OSR stuff. So I think that's why you see more OSR stuff get backed now.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm still I think I backed like I don't know like I backed like so many different Shadow Dark things back in the game because I backed a someone made basically did a Star Wars for Shadow Dark game and I got that now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for a Western game that uses Shadow Dark called Shadow
Yeah.
West.
Yeah.
I have Atomic Shadows, which is basically Fallout
Well,
for Shadow Dark.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You got Shadow City, you got Shadow Rim.
Yeah.
Chubby Funster's now revising his Shadow Sun game,
Mm.
which is great. But yeah, it needs it because I don't know if you know, but when he made that for the first version, it was before that full book even got released.
Yeah. It was for the quick start, I guess.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just used the quick start rules and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it'd be interesting to see because I'll probably end up getting that. I'll be interested to compare the two side by side and see what changed
Yeah.
in all that time. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love Shadow Dog, and I love writing for Shadow Dog. I had a blast writing Blacklight, and I have a few other ideas. And Kelsey is like one of the nicest people I've met in the hobby. She actually really helped me out personally with some stuff because I'm not sure if you were aware, but I got accused of IP theft around Blacklight because there was apparently I wasn't aware at the time, but there's an ICC index card RPG.
oh yeah, I forgot
Supplements called
about that. Yeah,
out called Blacklight, but it has like the space in the name. So when I looked for Blacklight, if there were any existing games on Drive to RPG, I missed that one because I didn't put in the space. And it has like a sort of similar setting. So that creator's friends, like all of a sudden, like right as I was doing the Kickstarter, they all dogpiled me. And they were like threatening to sue me and stuff. So Kelsey intervened on my behalf, which was really cool.
yeah. I see Index Card RPG is such a niche game though. Like I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
that many
exactly.
people that play it.
Yeah, no, me either. But they got really mad, and they were like, "Oh, you stole this, and we're gonna sue you," and like all this stuff. And then Kelsey intervened for me, like personally, which was really great. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, I
that's
really love Shadow Dog, but one of the reasons that I'm now making my own game, so Streets of Magic, is that I want the freedom to write whatever supplement for that I want. So if I want to do cyberpunk, I'll do cyberpunk. If I want to do sci-fi, I'll do sci-fi. Problem is with if it's like somebody else's game, there's gonna be like 600 other people that that have the same idea, you know?
yeah. So so I do want to ask about Streets of Magic because that
Yeah.
one also gets my interest. But I am curious to know. So of between what you've done for with Blacklight, what you did for Modern Necessities, which one do you like making submits more for? Old School Essentials or Shadow Dark?
Shadow Dog probably I like more. Old
Uh,
School Essentials, it's fun, but it's a little bit dry. Which like, there's nothing wrong with that because Old School Essentials is written to be just very simple and straightforward and easy to learn. But it's a
Basic
little bit,
expert, basically. Yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit dry to write for, and it's also a little bit more particular in the rules. So I like it's a bit harder to shoehorn my ideas into that than Shadow Dog. Shadow Dog as a system is a lot more flexible, so I have a lot more freedom to kind of tweak the rules and the stuff to my taste rather than the other way around. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. It'll be interesting because it'll be interesting to see because I don't know how much changing you have to do because they're supposed to be releasing a brand new version of OSC sometime this
Yeah,
year. With
yeah,
it, they're basically just taking the advanced books and making that like the core rules,
yeah,
and they're finally removing all OGL stuff out of it. Finally,
yeah.
so
Yeah, from what I heard, it's not going to be that different. They're just taking out all, like you said, they're taking out all the OGL stuff, which is
yeah,
supposedly flavor rather than mechanics for the most part.
yeah.
So,
It
but
was
I don't know.
interesting. It was
Yeah,
interesting because I had downloaded some old school character some OSC character sheets off a drive through, but they must have been new ones that they updated recently because they had like all these other like weird 1 in 6 stat things on the side that I had never seen before. Because
yeah,
it was like foraging wild, hunting wild, and I'm like, these are I even tried to, and those aren't even mentioned in the book when I tried to read through it. So they
yeah,
must be new things. There must be just some more, but definitely more. They're definitely focusing more on like the dungeoneering and the wilderness exploration. It looks like.
yeah,
So, but thankfully, I still had the files for the original ones, which I'm using for my Modern Necessities game I'm going to be doing. So,
yeah,
but anyways, so like you said, you're working on this your own urban fantasy game called Streets of Magic. Kind
yeah.
of I guess the word I'm looking for is give me the selling pitch if you were trying to convince people to buy this game.
Um, the selling pitch. Let's see. So it's basically Bright, combined with like Gotham City, Sin City, stuff like that. So it's urban fantasy. Orcs, elves, dwarfs, all that stuff. They exist. They exist alongside humans. Everyone is aware of that stuff. Magic is out in the open and all that stuff. But I made the setting purposely like timeless, like anachronistic, because I like that. I'm sure you've seen the '80s Batman movie. I like that Gotham City vibe where you're not quite sure what era it is. Like, is it the 1940s? Is it like the '80s? Like, I don't know, because there's gangsters with fedoras and Tommy guns, but there's also computers and cell phones and relatively modern cars and stuff like that. So I like that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing with Streets of Magic. I'm keeping it purposely. I'm keeping the setting purposely timeless. So you've got like those like the weird like gothic Art Deco cities with like zeppelins floating by, and like the big spotlights like pointing into the air and stuff like that. And then there's orcs and elves and crazy shit running around. Like that's probably a bad pitch, but I'm not that great at giving pitches.
Oh, that's fine. But this is basically going to be, is this OSR2? So like your 6 stats, 3d6 down the
Yeah,
line
yeah.
type
So
game?
it's based on white, not white book, not the basic experts white books, but white books, the original white books. Uh,
Yeah.
and then with my own ideas added on top of that. So it's a very simple at the core. It's a simple OSR system, but built from the ground up to do that urban fantasy stuff that I love.
Yeah. So it's good. So it can be one of those games that you could easily just kind of, if you want to take stuff and something from like another game, add it into it. If you want to take
Yeah,
something from your
exactly.
game and add it
Yeah,
into it. That's one thing I really loved about I think kind of all these OSR games is they're always somehow in one way or another compatible with each other.
yeah,
Like we've taken stuff like a lot of the classes, like in Bears of Borderlands on the server, he literally has rules for like if you're doing like a Shadow Dark class, here's what
hmm
you do. And then one of his other games he loves Hyperborea,
yeah.
and he
Same.
does a lot of stuff with that. Now he does say you have to kind of tweak the classes a little bit because they do
Mhm.
make you uber strong a little bit in comparison.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
it's a good game, and I recently just bought the PDFs of the third one because like there you can get all the PDFs for the third edition Hyperborea for like $20 on drive through right now. It's a
Yeah,
steal.
yeah,
And then well I can't I would love to get the physical books, but they're $120. But he's got the second edition one on sale that's got all the stuff for like $20. So that I bought that for the time
yeah,
being. So
yeah. Yeah, no, I love that cross compatibility as well. So that's why I decided to go with white box, because it keeps like the monster statistics and stuff, all that fairly simple. So you can import, from most anything. And I love the idea of like taking Streets of Magic and running old modules with it. So it's like your Streets of Magic characters go to the Isle of Dread, and it's like some Skull Island type situation, like some King Kong situation. Or like, oh, we're gonna like go to these old ruins in the jungle. So you just find some old Teozorid module or some old school essentials module or whatever, and you just run it with it, and it works fine. So yeah.
I have fun and I just lost it.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I'm also still like trying to make sure I stay awake because again, like
Yeah,
I told you, after this is done, I gotta run over to Matthew Blair's Borderlands because we're having a giant battle for Balion tonight. That's what
nice.
it is. It's all of
Yeah,
us against an evil vampire lord. So
yeah,
yeah, but no, but it's been fun. Just kind of like again, I'm again with just Modern Necessities alone, just flipping through that and seeing what's in here, and then looking at like all your equipment and stuff too,
yeah,
and then just trying to figure out like, okay, what would make sense for my character to have, what would he not have, because like a hold on, let me for example, and then hold on, I lost my place here again. Yeah, like your heavy artillery that is in this. My draw detective wouldn't have anything like that.
No, no, no.
And then I did like this your section about like the different kinds of bullets that you can get.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that
yeah,
was really cool.
yeah.
Like your magically infused bullets.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm known for, I guess. That I put a lot of details in the weapons and equipment and ammunition and stuff like that. And one thing that people really seem to like is my rules for how different races handle firearms,
And
which is
speaking of
also in
that,
modern
because
necessities. Yeah.
yeah, speaking of that, I just noticed this your cultural firearm design section. I didn't even notice that before. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just
So basically, in my mind, like elves wouldn't design guns the same way as humans do, and same for dwarves, same for halflings. So I have like little descriptions on like their philosophy around firearms, and then if you have an elf gun, what are the pros and the cons to that? And then I do that for like all the basic races, basically. And I'm doing the same thing in Streets of Magic. So
oh, excuse me. Oh, but no, when I see elf firearms, I think of like the elven armament from Skyrim, how that gold sleek
yeah,
design,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but put it
exactly.
on a gun instead, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's a neat little concept. And I just imagine dwarven firearms just being like big old things that are like sturdy and can like handle almost any damage, but
Yeah, yeah.
you're like lugging it around everywhere you go.
Yeah, basically, my idea is that dwarves they didn't really develop past old west guns. Like to them, those are good enough. They don't really need newfangled semi-automatics and stuff like that. Just a big revolver or a big like lever action gun is good enough. But they're known for their giant calibers and just the sturdiness of their weapons. So you can have like a revolver that's like a .700, like dwarven magnum, like like that only has like 3 rounds in it.
Yeah, and so and then you were saying in the back end before we started, you're going to be working on omnibus version of this, and
Yeah,
that's going to will that also include your Western and Cyberpunk books that you
yeah,
also
yeah.
released?
It's gonna be all 4 books. So it's gonna be Modern Necessities, Single Action, Cutting Edge, and then the adventure that I'm trying to finish. The Bunker in the Badlands adventure that I'm still working on. So I originally came up with that because of the whole tariff situation and like print costs were going up. So I was like, I'm gonna make an omnibus version, so people only have to like order 1 book. But
Right.
I'm still
Oh,
trying to finish the adventure.
Michael brought up an interesting question about like since we're doing cultural firearms, are there like races that can't like use another race's weaponry or something in that
uh,
regard?
so I mean, if you have like a halfling pistol, it's gonna be like tiny. So if you're like an ogre, it's probably not gonna really do much for you. You're like holding like a little delicate little revolver. And then I also have firearms for the different alignments. So for chaotic, lawful, and neutral. So if you're a chaotic character, you probably don't want to touch a lawful weapon, and vice versa, because it's gonna do bad stuff to you.
It's like the equivalent of like the Judge Dredge's gun, where it's like it only
Yeah,
recognizes like your signature. If the wrong person touches it, it does something to you.
yeah, yeah. Blows up your hand. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I think I've got the idea. I wanted to do like a fantasy cyberpunk campaign, and it was either I would do it with use old school central with your stuff, or I would just use because I bought Cities Without Numbers
Mm.
a while back, and just taking the fantasy races from White Box and putting them into Cities Without Number.
Yeah, you could easily do that. Yeah,
Yeah, for like
Kevin Crawford makes great stuff.
oh yeah, uh, yeah. I got all the free versions of all his games. I definitely want to get Ashes Without Number at some point. So
Yeah, yeah, I love Kevin Crawford stuff.
yeah, and then Scarlet Heroes is a good one too. If you just want something like
Yeah,
that's kind of
yeah,
basic expert too. On top of that, and I think that
yeah,
one is I think what was the kind of a Mesopotamian vibe. I think he was going for with that one.
yeah. Like Asian kind of like wushu kung fu stuff. Feels like kind of like maybe like Mongolian.
Yeah, and then I remember because I also owned the first version of Blacklight that you made before you redid it.
Yeah,
And I just remember like kind of being really interested because when everyone asked me about it, like what is Blacklight, I just tell them it's literally just SCP Foundation for Shadow
yeah,
Dark. It's
yeah.
basically
Basically,
what it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
And and I love the SCP Foundation too, like all those monsters in there. And I even have a card game where you basically it's a playing card game that you play with other people, but it's called it's SCP Escape, I think is what it's
Mm.
called, and you're trying to basically like survive through like a breakout,
yeah.
and so I've thought about like just taking that deck and then just drawing like random SCPs for the players to come across using
Oh
that
yeah,
deck
that'd be cool.
inspiration. So
Yeah, yeah. You could definitely do that. That'd be fun.
so so you could be like going out to try to recollect the doll. I think that's what it's called. The doll that where if you don't look at it, it snaps your neck.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like or like you have to go and try to contain the shy guy again
yeah,
after he
yeah,
goes out on the rampage, and then make sure you don't get the Scarlet King. That's for sure.
yeah. Yeah, I have a game on Steam called SCP-4K, and it's like a co-op game where you're actually like a team that is going to one of the facilities, and that concrete statue that snaps your neck if you don't look, like, is actually in there, and it's really scary. Like, I don't like that one.
Yeah.
Seen the well, not someone was trying to call me while I was on here, so it's like
Yeah.
no, go away. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's still that one game out there where it's like you're like a Class D person in an SCP facility, and then a breakout
Yeah.
happens. You have to try to escape, and you're like
Yeah, yeah.
coming across all the SCPs and stuff. It's a crazy game, and I think it gets like an update like there's like an update for it now. I think every year or something, depending on when these
Yeah.
bugs or graphics change or
Yeah.
whatever. I think they recently had to do because I think well I think what I remember is the original design that was used for the SCP puppets. Whoever actor was actually someone who actually owned it, and I guess they rescinded that use of that image for it. So they had to
Mhm.
create like a whole new design for the puppet SCP.
Alright. Yeah, that sucks, yeah.
Yeah, but then again, there's like a new competitor for the SCP now because of just not going into too much detail, but politics wise, SCP, the people behind that have kind of leaned a certain direction,
Yeah, I
and
know
I
what you
think
mean, yeah.
like it's like the RCA authority or RCD authority or something like that is what it's called, and it's in the similar vein of SCP, but it's actually like original material.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
no, I
that's
love
kind of
I love SCP. So yeah, Blacklight is SCP plus like kind of like Silent Hill, Stranger Things, that kind of stuff, plus um like Stargate.
yeah, that's what other people have been saying. It's a lot of Stargate
Yeah,
vibes. Now I didn't
yeah,
grow up with Stargate, so I wouldn't know too much
yeah.
about it. So
It's basically just the whole like taking a team and visiting like different worlds. And my idea around that is like also that cross compatibility. So it's like if you want to go to Ravenloft and then run Blacklight, you can, just send a Blacklight team into Ravenloft and now you're fighting vampires. Maybe
there's a,
maybe Strada's working with the Tool Society, with the yeah.
there's an anime I keep seeing clips for come across my stream where it's like this medieval like monarchy fantasy world, but
Yeah,
all of a sudden
Gate. Yeah.
all of a sudden there's now like these people. There's this Japanese army that militia with
Yeah.
guns that
Yeah,
like
Gate. Yeah.
that is that what it's called?
Yeah, Gate. Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically a gate to a fantasy world opens up in the middle of Tokyo and like a fantasy army comes through and messes stuff up. So the IDF, not the IDF, the JDF, the Japanese Defense Forces, they go through to like take revenge. And it's like
it's
I love the scene where it's like the knights trying to defend the castle, and just like an Apache
just
shows up and just yeah, yeah,
blow them all down. Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
It's almost kind of like I think it Tom Cruise's uh was it Tom Cruise Last Samurai, where
yeah,
he's like trying to teach him how to like shoot and fight, and that's like all the
yeah,
samurai against people with guns.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
so
also a really cool book series called Forgotten Ruin, where it's a team of army rangers that get sent into a fantasy world. It's basically like a D&D world, and it's just them trying to do stuff in that. And, like, there's like a book where they have to deal with a dragon. There's like a couple books where they have to like take down a high level mummy. It's really cool.
yeah, I'm just imagining like a Curse of Strahd, like, how dare you enter my land? All of a sudden, it's like you
Yeah,
just see like 10 SCP agents just unload on him,
yeah, yeah,
and then he
yeah,
just gets back up. It's like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah. I always like the idea of Strahd working together with, like, the bad guys from World War II, the the Germans, kind of like doing like a World War II movie like type thing, like where Eagle's there, but it's Ravenloft.
It's I'm thinking Helsing Ultimate Abridged now, where it's like,
Yeah,
oh no, what is it? It's freaking Nazis!
yeah, yeah,
And then Nazi vampires, Nazi werewolves, all that.
yeah, yeah,
Then
exactly.
it's crazy. Like for I don't know if you ever saw the Portal to Adventure Kickstart that was happening. I had talked about it quite a bit, but for that Kickstarter, because it was Bears of Borderlands, the Arduin trilogy is owned by a company currently called Emperor's Choice Miniatures, and
Mhm.
then Griff from Blackmore threw in one of the Lost Dungeons of Tonesborg adventure for it as well. So it's 3 games in one big box.
Yeah,
And for the Kickstarter, Matthew Tapp created this adventure called Dracula in Space. So you go to a spaceship that Dracula and his minions have completely overrun.
that reminds me of Vampire Hunter D.
We actually so another thing he does on the server is he plays a lot of videos that inspired him. And the very first time I ever watched Vampire Hunter D was on that server. So because I had never seen
One
it
second,
before.
my headset died.
Oh,
Sorry. Come on. I think I ran out of juice on my headset. 1 second.
all right.
Oh, there it comes. Yeah, there it goes. My headset likes to randomly die sometimes. There you go. Sorry, what were you saying about?
Oh, Matthew Tapp for the Portal Adventure Kickstarter. He made an adventure called Dracula in Space, where
Yeah,
where Dracula and his minions have completely overrun the spaceship, and so you're
yeah,
now going to that spaceship to try to defeat him.
yeah,
So, but in this, somewhere on the spaceship, and he's told me this, and I've actually thought this, but there's a portal that leads to a date and time in during World War II. And
mm,
I thought about what I want to do is because I own World War II Operation White Box the game as well. I thought about like making characters for that and then having them appear on the ship.
yeah. That'd be fun. Yeah,
Yeah, there's just
yeah.
something
No, it
really cool
reminds me
about.
of. Oh, so again.
I was just saying, there's something really just I don't know why. It's just something about World War II and Civil War. Those two wars, like trying to do stuff RPG wise with them, really appeases
Yeah,
me.
yeah. No, I do that a lot too. That's why in Blacklight the whole kind of history kind of starts in World War II. Because I like the idea of like the Nazis working with like occult forces and whatnot.
Yeah, I actually had this whole when I was doing a lot of my City of Mist mostly for a while. I had this whole campaign idea where so they have this section of people called gatekeepers in City of
Mhm.
Mist, and what the gatekeepers do is they hide the existence of the rifts, which are people with powers, from society.
Yeah, yeah,
And I thought about it would be really cool if there was like a group of gatekeepers that are like serving during World War II, and so while the main war's being fought, they're like doing like reconnaissance and then like espionage and stuff,
yeah, yeah,
trying to
yeah. I
figure out
could see that.
because then it's like you got the high ranking German Nazi members that also that they discover, oh, these guys have powers.
Yeah,
Like one guy was just gonna be he was gonna be like a nerdy dude that was somehow high rank, but then he says a magic word and he basically turns into a Nazi version of Black Adam from DC
yeah,
Comics.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
instead
could
of
see
one
that.
lightning bolt, it's two, just because. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah, Mo Hawkman says I'd rather do Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam is also a good setting. Korea, Vietnam, like the whole kind of like World War II to the Cold War. I love mining for ideas.
I actually own a game. It's called Magic. It's called Machine Guns and Magic, and I just happened to
Mhm.
come across it one day randomly. And
Yeah,
it's a D100 system, but it's a bunch of Vietnam soldiers that get isekai into like a fantasy orc territory, and now
yeah,
they're
yeah,
fighting against an orc army that they just
yeah.
randomly came across.
That's fun. Yeah,
Although I have been wanting to check out I forget his name. It was like a Gorgon Grimoire's a Vietnam book that he wrote, his Vietnam RPG
yeah,
that he wrote. I've heard some
yeah,
good things about that. So
yeah. So my air trumper says I changed my Blacklight lore and made it more Cold War based. That's fine. I kind of voted, so it's technically modern, but you can also kind of set it doing whatever area you want. Like if you want to do 80s Blacklight or 70s or even 60s Blacklight, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you have to describe some of the items a bit differently, but yeah.
did you ever play the Twilight 2000 RPG? Did you ever play that
Mhm.
one?
Yeah. I played the old one and I played a little bit of the new Free League one.
Yeah, because I know Glass Cannon Network is they're doing it's behind their paywall, but they're doing the Free League Twilight 2000 campaign. But they
Yeah.
released Session Zero for everyone to listen to, and I'm like, ooh, that would be a really cool setting the run. But then they were also kind of talking about like how it changed over the time, because from what I heard, like the wars that apparently happened in all the editions of Twilight 2000 kept changing. So I think
Yeah.
at one point it was the Vietnam War, and then another one it was a Cold War, and now
Yeah.
now the Free League one is just a war that is just a World War III that just randomly happens in like the
Yeah.
2000s. So, but I know I was recommended by Legion of Myth to get the second edition, and the second edition one has came across my Drive to RPG one day as deal of the day for like $10, so I got the second edition game for like a discount.
Yeah, I have the first and second edition of the originals. First time I played Twilight 2000 was like an old PC game. And it was like really hard. And it had like the mechanic where even if you like were rolling up your character, they could like age and your stats would reduce and stuff like that. Which seemed really unfair at the time, but I was a kid, so
Yeah, because it was heavily inspired by Traveler, that's for sure, mechanic
yeah,
wise on
yeah,
that part.
yeah.
That's another one I still need to play, is like the original Traveler. I did get all the files recently because there was a website that sold like all the old books for like
Yeah, I have that one.
$16.
Yeah, I think Humble Bundle did that once, right?
It was Fanatical
Humble
was
Bundle.
the site.
Oh yeah. I bought the same one. I
Humble
played.
Bundle probably did it at one point.
Yeah. No, I think they Humble Bundle. I think they did the Mongoose Traveler,
Oh,
like the new one. Yeah, which I also got. But no, I've played a classic Traveler. The basic expert ran a game once, and we were like a mercenary team, like stationed on like this big spaceship, and we were just flying around doing like cool military missions, and it was really fun.
yeah. I'm currently my Saturday morning show. We're doing a bi-weekly. It's called Out of the Black Hack RPG, which the tagline, it's a sci-fi comedy RPG. So it's more along the lines of like Galaxy Quest and
Yeah.
why did my space out
The
there?
Orville?
No, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
Oh yeah.
and Spaceballs. That's why I was losing
Yeah.
train on Spaceballs. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. That sounds fun.
So
Yeah, I would play that.
yeah, so it's a very simple because it uses a system called the Hack RPG from Bloat Games. So it's basically like it's like a skeleton that tells you like, here's a skeleton you can use to create your own game with.
Yeah.
So this guy just made a interesting game with it. So we've been having a lot of fun with it. It's like I got a buddy of mine that's in that game. He's playing a humanoid dung beetle because
Yeah.
there's a race you can play a race called the Evolved. And you're basically, it's just saying you were once like this species or this animal or this insect, and then something happened to you. You evolved and
Yeah,
awakened,
you
basically.
could uplift it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bloat Games does interesting stuff. The guy that runs Bloat Games was Eric Bloat, I think his name is really.
Yeah,
Is
Eric
it?
Bloat. Yep.
Yeah. He backed Modern Necessities originally, so I thought that was pretty cool.
And I know he did. They did it because it's Operation White Box too, but they did it for straight basic expert version.
Yeah. They did it for OSZ. I backed that one.
Yeah, because they have the rule book, and then there's like an adventure book they also released beside it as well. So, so that's what I still need to get. So many books and never enough room and money to get them with. So
yeah. No, I know the feeling.
yeah, the one adventure I want to run with Blacklight is I have this module from Red Room called Demons of Chernobyl, and it talks about you go back in time to the Chernobyl incidents. And you're trying to like save these kids that were being experimented on at the time from like an evil group, and that's inside that facility. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, I got kicked for a second. Weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, so it's Demons of Chernobyl. You go back, you can either get sent back in time, or it happens during that time, and you're going into that facility right before it blows up to like save some kids that were being experimented on, basically.
Yeah.
And these kids apparently have like these psychic powers.
Yeah, no, you could definitely do that with Blacklight.
Yeah, just that's one thing I like about these, just all the different adventures that I could take people on, or do them solo, because that's what it's kind of going to now these days. Like Because like I put a thing out on the Shadow Dark server to see if I can get any interest in this game, and I got no replies.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's kind of how it goes. But no, I design all my stuff, at least since I switched kind of to the OSR. I design it to be very flexible and just to be compatible with a lot of other OSR stuff, because I just love the idea of that myself. Like I said, I love the idea of just taking an old TSR module and just running it with one of my games and making it modern.
Yeah, because I mean, I think that's why I kind of like Lee. I've been going more like I don't I like medieval fantasy. That no, don't get me wrong there, but I seem to lean more towards science fantasy and urban fantasy. So
Yeah.
I like my medieval stuff, but it also I needed to have like guns and black powder and
Yeah,
robots and
same. Yeah.
radiation and dinosaurs.
Yeah, same. I'm the same way. So, one of my next projects is I kind of want to do a fantasy game, but instead of pure fantasy, it's just gonna be like weird, like far future stuff where like 12 apocalypses happened. It's like a
Wow,
million. It's like a million years from now, like and you're like some Conan the Barbarian dude, and you're going to like some weird jungle, and you're fighting dinosaurs and giant insects and stuff. And then you find like an old crashed spaceship, and you find like a laser pistol,
that
like that kind of stuff. Like and
sounds
there's like the ruins of the Eiffel Tower are like sticking out above the jungle. Like
that sounds very much a lot like what Tony is doing with his dystopian Dawn
yeah,
game. I
yeah,
don't know if
yeah,
you've
yeah,
seen that at all. Or not.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah. No, I backed the first. I backed the first with Dystopian Dawn.
I've gotten almost every single one, and I've play tested several of his modules with him. And his next one is going to be it's Australia, but it's a land of monsters.
Yeah, I heard him talk about that on Paddy's stream last night. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
so
doing something simpler. So
yeah, and I know he said when he gets to like Europe and the UK and all that, it's going to be a lot. That's when you're going to see a lot more like the Fey races and all that start
yeah,
to come out
yeah,
at
yeah,
one
yeah.
point. Because I interviewed him a while back. It was like right after Vikings and Robots got completed,
Hmm.
and he was on my
Yeah,
stream, and we were talking about that, and he was filling me in about all that stuff because he's got
yeah.
stuff planned for like the next 20 years, I think, with this
Oh
game.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I want my own game. That's why I want Streets of Magic, so I can just do what I want with it and do whatever supplement I want. And I have like lots of ideas.
Yeah. One thing I have been discussing with the guys every now and then is like I don't mind that people are like get the bug to like create their own game, but I also feel like at the same time I feel like because we have so many games out here now, I would like to see more like adventures and settings and modules
Yeah,
get made for like the games we have.
yeah, but that's what I started with, and I kind of want to level up, and I want to have my own stuff now. I mean, yeah. Like the problem with that is that for every stuff you're working on, there's 6 million other people working on the same thing, especially for like Shadow Dog. So I originally wanted to do a Shadow Dog Cyberpunk supplement, and there were like 2 other groups already doing a Cyberpunk game. So I was like, well, I don't want to like do
Yeah,
a third Cyberpunk game. So that's why I just did a remake of Blacklight. Basically, I did an improved version of Blacklight because nobody was doing like kind of that SCP Foundation stuff. So
yeah,
yeah. So I
yeah. Because I
like
know
yeah.
there's like
Yes,
there
okay.
besides Atomic Shadows, there's another post-apocalyptic scam world type Shadow Dark get setting that someone made.
Yeah.
There's like yeah, like you said, there's like 3 different cyberpunk Shadow
Yeah.
Dark games that exist
Yeah,
out there.
exactly. Yeah.
And then oh I was just thinking about one in particular, but I completely forgot what it was now.
Yeah, you've got Cyberdog
Oh, I remember now.
and
Someone else also did Dark stuff for Shadow Dark 2, but they released it as like there's like the player guide and then the monster book
yeah, yeah,
PDF. Someone else did that
yeah,
like later on.
yeah. So you've got a lot of competition, and then it's like I'm just one guy doing everything by myself, and then it's like I could do a cyberpunk game, but some big group with like a way bigger budget, and it's like 20 people working on it are also doing a cyberpunk game. It's obviously going to be better what I'm going to fucking put out. So, like, why should I even bother? So that's kind of why I wanted my own game, but that's also why I decided to make it old school OSR, so it's like still compatible with everything. So yeah, Streets of Magic is my own game, but again, you can take like monsters from the basic experts like Makwahital and like run some kind of like modern military versus like Aztec monsters type stuff. You can do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's why I guess because like I was showing you on the back end, because I kind of been on and off with the idea of wanting to create my own game as well, just because of all the time it takes in, and then I'm
Yeah.
only one guy, and I can't afford the software that you would have to be able to do all that editing with. I don't always have the money to afford for the art, but that's why now that I've been printing more books out in like booklet form if they're small enough, and I started thinking to the earlier like maybe I should do it more like this, just a simple like rule book, maybe with
Yeah.
a specific setting because I've also been wanting to do like a more like make it like an urban fantasy setting as well. And then like well for the monsters, I don't have to create them. You could say just use your favorite OSR monster, use your favorite spells from your OSR spell books.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
like there's
Exactly.
so much material out there. I mean, that's kind of like with when Professor DM released his Deathbringer in the pamphlet format originally, the whole entire concept was it's you were supposed to use that with
Mhm.
other games you own, like the
Yeah.
monster
Exactly.
you yeah, like you get like your Shadow Dark book and you pull some monsters from that, or you get your freaking base your OSC book and you pull the spells from that or something.
Yeah. Well, by the way, you mentioned the software. So the latest version of Affinity, which is what I use to do my layout, the latest version is completely free. So
I'll have to look into that then if it's
yeah,
completely free now. So
yeah,
that
yeah,
might be something I have to do. We'll have to make sure that my computer can run it too because I don't know about this computer, but this other one I have over here, it's a old HP laptop that I've had since 2011 that somehow still runs perfectly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you have to see, but yeah, the latest version of Affinity is free, and it does almost everything that you need to just release a book. Like that's, like I said, that's what I use, and so
Blacklight. So my ear trumpet's throwing out ideas. Blacklight versus the Aztec Mummy.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
but
definitely like
since it's white box, so you could run Streets of Magic and then use you could use like monsters and mechanics from Operation White Box, for example, and it should be all roughly compatible. Like there might be like a little tweaking that you have to do occasionally, but for the most part, I want all that stuff to be compatible.
yeah, like I found this whole a while back because when I was doing my whole World War II conspiracy campaign idea, I found this like 6 hour podcast episode where they were talking about like the occult of World War II Germany with the Thule Society, and then like they actually had people like sent out to go try to find like the Holy Grail, and then
Yeah, yeah.
this I forgot the exact name for it, but it's the spear that pierced Jesus.
The Spear of Longinus.
Yeah, so they actually sent out people to try to find those items because they
Yeah,
believed it
yeah.
was real. So it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that was kind of the inspiration for the whole background of Blacklight. Because if you read like the introduction, it's like the Nazis were experimenting with occult stuff, and then they basically caused like these cracks in reality, and that's why all those dimensional bleeds happen.
Yeah, you could just go on the whole Nazi zombie sniper route, and all of a sudden, like it's like Hitler brought all the German soldiers back to life in zombies,
Yeah,
and now you
exactly.
gotta
Yeah,
start gunning down the street.
yeah, yeah. You can do all that stuff.
Yeah, those games got a little crazy after a while because I think
Oh
they
yeah, I
did
know.
like what 3, 4, 5 of them or something. I don't remember
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I think they're on Sniper Elite 5, and then they did like the Nazi zombie like expansions for them.
Yeah, and then the Call of Duty Nazi zombie games, those got even wilder because so I have an original 360, and I own World at War, which is in my
Mhm.
opinion the best Call of Duty game to have ever been made.
Yeah,
And that Nazi zombies classic game is just sweet because
yeah,
all
yeah,
it is like you just try to get all four friends together and you just try to survive for as long as you can.
yeah. It's nice and simple.
All right. All right. So I guess timeline wise, when are you looking to get Streets of Magic done and released probably?
So the Kickstarter is in like 8 or 9 days, March 1st,
Oh, it's that soon
and
already. I didn't
yeah,
realize that.
yeah, yeah. It's very soon, which is gonna be stressful, but I'm also at the same time I'm looking forward to it. Just finally getting that Kickstarter started. Uh, and then after that, I usually give myself a year just to get all the writing done and all that stuff. I need to
Nice.
order more art and like whatnot, obviously. And then I'm also doing the offset. I'm also doing an offset print, so it's going to be my first offset print. Because before I've always just done PDF and then print on demand via drive-through. So I'm still doing that. So you can pledge for just a PDF. You can pledge for a print on demand softcover or hardcover through drive-through RPG. But I also offer like an offset print version this time. And because I want to level up. I want to be more professional. I want to have like a nice like good book out there. So I don't know. I'm hoping to have the actual writing done probably within 6 months after the Kickstarter is done, and then the PDF and all that stuff will come out. So
Yep, and I don't have it in the description yet, but I am getting the link to that Kickstarter right now, so I can put it down in the description, so that way people know where to go. Because I didn't think about that. So
yeah, no worries.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward. I mean, of course, I'm going to back this too because I mean, it's the urban fantasy thing alone is it's just appeals to me. And again, it's the bright. It's what was it's Shannara. It's a lot of things just about the urban fantasy that really appeal to me. Just the idea of just finally just kind of taking a break away from just like knights and dragons and going to you do have the dragon, but now he's the corrupt mayor of the city.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I had a old character in a game that was a dragon crime lord, and he lived in an old like Soviet era like nuclear silo somewhere in like the mountains in Russia, and like the bottom level. So he was a black dragon, so the bottom level was all flooded, and it was just like this like black brackish water like on the bottom level that he lived in. I thought that was fun.
All right. Well, I'm running out of questions to ask. I could keep going. It's like I would love to just keep talking about this stuff with you all the rest of the night if I could, but I'm just kind of running out of questions. So I guess what advice would you give to someone if they wanted to kind of just start doing their own foray into like making their own game or creating something for another game?
Oh, that's hard. What advice? Just do it. Like I don't know, like to quote Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Yeah,
Make your
no,
dreams come true.
I randomly started doing it. It was just like literally a whim, and now yeah, just do it. That's like that's my advice. Like it's probably shitty advice, but that's all I can think of because that's how I did it. Like I didn't really have like a concrete plan or anything. I just kind of just ended up in this situation, and it has worked out. Just have a cool idea, try to find your niche, and yeah, just go with it. Don't try to be too fancy. Like at first, do something simple, do something easy, and just slowly build your way up.
Yeah, I like that's kind of what they say about if you're going to Dungeon Master for the first time, just do it. I mean, no one's ever going to get it
Yeah.
right the first time. Like I
Yeah.
know my very first Wretched Dixie supplement I made for the Wretched RPG, just because it's basically like how to run a Civil War campaign.
Mhm.
It's like I've gotten good reviews on it, but it definitely has a lot of room for improvement at the time. Because like I literally just provided the text, and then Miguel did all the layout work and just did a bunch of just got a bunch of like public domain art. That's what I'm thinking of, and just added those in there. So it came out pretty good looking. But when I look back through it, I'm like, it's nice for what it was, because there's already so much they put in those games that it is that I just felt like I didn't need to do too much. It was just like here's a kind of a brief timeline. Here's how you can. Here's what classes we recommended. Then I did like 3 small adventures for it, because I had like, and also what's funny was the bad reviews I did got, people didn't like that I added folklore encounters into my adventures.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I mean, to me, I feel like part of the purpose of an RPG was something makes it stand out from just it being a normal Civil War battle. So like for one adventure, it's not just the Battle of Gettysburg. You're not just the soldiers fighting against each other. You've disturbed a pack of dogmen, and now they're coming in to join the fight.
Yeah.
Or the freaking when you go to hunt down John Wilkes Booth, it turns out he's been communicating with the Eldritch gods, and he's now and now he becomes like a golden Eldritch Knight.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a play on him, on him being a part of the Knights of the Golden Circle.
Yeah.
So I created like this whole monster, and then I have this. I need to get to it sometime, but Patty created a cover for me to where it's for a Shadow Dark game called Dixie Dark. So it would be the Civil War, but for Shadow Dark. And I started
Yeah.
working on it, and it's been on the back burner. So it's something I need to get back to at some point. So
Yeah. Well, if you're just getting started, like don't sweat it if your first product is a little bit rough around the edges. Like mine certainly was, but it got me enough interest and enough fans where I could just go from there and like build from there and keep improving. So and I'm still not done improving. I have lots of improvement left. I have lots of growth left. So yeah, just take it one step at a time, and like I said, just do it.
yeah, well, I think with that, I think this is a good place to stop. So thank you, Victor, for coming
You're
on
welcome.
and just talking about the games and talking with me just about Urban Fantasy and stuff. I'm looking forward to Streets of Magic. And
Thank you.
again, to my listeners, I will put that in the description below of this video so y'all know where to get it at. And where else can everyone follow you at?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter as Victor Gorchev or the Scrying Dutchman. I have two accounts. You can go to my site, my new site, because I literally just a couple weeks ago I registered as a business officially. So I am officially a businessman. I'm the CEO of Lowland Legends. So you can go to www.lowlandlegends.com. It's my new site. You can sign up for the mailing list. That's the name in English. You can sign up for the mailing list and stuff to get updates. I eventually plan to sell PDFs and my offset print to that site, but I'm still figuring out tech stuff because, like I said, I just started as a business, so I'm still learning things.
What was the
And
name
yeah,
of that company again?
Lowland Legends, because the Lowlands, Netherlands.
Like low and land in one word.
Yeah, Lowland Legends.
All right, I'll have to find that. I'll make sure to put that down the link below as well.
So
And
my
then
plan is to. What's again?
oh, go ahead.
Well, my plan is to to sell my own games to that, but eventually I also want to publish games for other people. So if once Streets of Magic is released and somebody wants to write an adventure for it, and I know and like them, we can maybe make a deal. So it's released officially under the Lowlands Legend banner. So I want to eventually become like a publisher for other people and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I started the business.
Yeah, the only thing I would warn if in regards to selling stuff through your own website, and that's because I've heard about this issue from other people, is taxes. How much they'll take from is how much they'll
Oh yeah,
take
no,
from you,
exactly that.
charge for some
Yeah.
taxes also through your site. So
Yeah, no, that's why I'm still learning that stuff because, like I said, I only just started as a business, so I'm still figuring stuff out. So that's gonna be a while until I sell stuff on my own site. I want to do it all legally and properly, and I don't want to get in trouble. So
yeah, I filed my taxes like a couple weeks ago, and I'm a man in my 30s. I still talk to my dad like, hey dad, do I have this or
yeah,
this? Because
yeah.
I feel like every year they add more stuff to it, and I'm like,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
no.
call that. So
Oh yeah, and it's even worse in the Netherlands. I actually have an accountant now, and it's gonna cost me like $900 a year or
see,
900 euros a year. But it's worth it at in the end.
See, I hate when people use the word accountant now because I know you mean like a tax accountant, but now with how much because with the rise of OF girls and all that, how they have their own accountants.
Oh yeah, no,
That
no,
term is so
I'm not an
bastardized now that
OnlyFans.
my mind immediately goes somewhere else. I'm like, no, that's not what he's talking about.
Yeah, no, I'm not on OnlyFans yet. No.
It's like you're just laying there and all that's covering you is like a Streets of Magic book.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
click here for a
Yeah,
discount on your Streets of Magic.
yeah. Now you're giving me ideas.
Oh, that would be hilarious to do. Or
Yeah.
it's like or you say like you got a big pair, you just have like Chonky's D20s like down by your crotch or something like that.
Yeah, like the big D100s.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Yeah,
That's the one dice I don't have is one of those chunky D100s.
yeah, me either. No, they're kind of fun, but also a hassle.
Yeah. And as always, you can also find me on X, YouTube, and Rumble under the ultra-amerian TTRPGer at the handle ultra TTRPGer.
Yeah.
And you can also find stuff for me and what I like to use in the links in below as well. And also for some of my friends as well. Like I know I put Patty Parlor's shirt store is also in the links as well because I always like to help share his stuff because I got his stuff over the years too. So
Yeah.
he's always been a good dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Patty's great.
yep. Thank you again, Victor, for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
I look forward to running this Modern Necessities. I look forward to hopefully at some point running Black Light 4 group. And I look
Yeah.
forward to getting Streets of Magic once that comes
Yeah,
out.
thank you. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed the stream tonight. Don't let me think. Yeah, here in about 6 minutes, I always have to make sure I shout him out. Dungeon Delver will be running his Blade Runner campaign that he's doing now. So if you want to go watch that, go ahead. And then I don't know if he's doing if Lord Manius is doing a second watch show tonight. I haven't seen an announcement. I think he's on vacation still. So just be on the lookout for second watch if that is happening tonight or not. So just shouting out some friends there.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone, have a good weekend, get some rest, roll some dice, and have fun.
Bye, everyone.